Happy Saturday! Today I want to talk about the intersection of two of my passions. One, of course, being my love of plants. This is my Baltic Blue. She is doing so well. And the other one is a fairly new passion, and that is investing and trading on the stock market. And you probably are like, how are those two things connected in any way? Well, I want to talk about that today. I have 3 pointers or 3 ways where I feel like caring for my plants and learning how to trade and invest on the stock market are very similar. So let's talk about it. Introduce myself. My name is Yvette Boone. I'm a recovering software engineer and a lifelong creative hobbyist and plant enthusiast. And here on this channel, we create a safe space for Black women to incorporate creative hobbies into their wellness practice. Okay, so let's talk about how these things intersect. So first, I want to say that trading and investing, I've invested in the stock market for a while, but my relationship with the stock market has always been a little hands off. It was like, I don't want to think about that too much. But here recently, I have taken a different approach, and I'm learning so much about not just investing, but trading as well. And so in that quest to learn, I have noticed some similarities between, I'll just say the stock market in general. We're going to use the terms interchangeably, but please know that investing and trading are 2 different things. So similarity number 1 is patience. Okay. So with our plants, patience is super important. So here I have an African violet, right? This African violet will look like this when she's all grown up. Isn't she cute? So she actually has another baby right in here. And I'll bring this back up as to how that relates to this story as well. But this is an African, I think she blooms purple, I believe. Okay, so patience. How is this related to patience? I decided that I wanted to have another African violet, and so I propagated this plant. And you can propagate African violets with a leaf. So this is the mother leaf here. And I took the mother leaf, put it in the dirt, and I want to say I did that on 6/27/23. It is now January. So granted, she started growing way before now, but she is now to the point where I could take her out of the prop box and let her live outside of the propagation box. It probably took about 4 or 5 months for her to get to this point. If I was not patient, I probably would have thrown this away, because there was at least a good month or so where this leaf was just sitting in the dirt and it didn't seem like it was doing anything. But a lot was going on up under that dirt. Like I said, this is the mother leaf here. And she looks about as big as the plant that is actually on. She's actually still alive, so I'm not going to remove her. I don't see a need to remove her. She's a part of this whole community here. But at some point, this plant is going to be as big as this one. But patience, I needed patience to get her to that point. Another area of when it comes to our plants, there are plenty of things that we need to be patient with. When we're propagating, we need to be patient to let those roots grow when they finally do come in. I have several, these are baby leaves unfurling, right? We got to be patient so that they can take their time and unfurl the way they need to unfurl so that they can make us a really pretty, beautiful plant. Like this is another one that I propagated and had to wait for the roots to grow and grow big, long enough and strong enough so that I can pot it all together and have a viable, beautiful plant, right? So patience. Now, when it comes to the stock market, whether you're investing or trading, it takes patience as well. In the stock market has a rhythm. There is ebbs and flows, there's ups and downs, and you want to get in at a good price because you want to buy low and sell high, or buy high and sell higher. Depends on what your strategy is. But for the most part, you want to make money. And so the way you make money is to buy it at one price and sell it at another. And as you see in this chart, the stock market has a rhythm. It doesn't go straight up, right? So it goes up, pulls back, goes up, pulls back. And so you need to have patience. You need to have patience if you're trading, to wait for your setup to happen, right? So that you can get in at a good time. Or if you're investing, sometimes you want to wait for that pullback. As the market moves up, it also corrects itself and it relaxes a little bit. And if the price falls down, and you catch it at that lower price, because the lower you get in, the better your profit margins. Similar to my plants, one of the things that I've learned about trading and investing is that you have to have patience. Similarity number 2 is risk management. So when it comes to trading or investing, especially when it comes to trading, risk management is a huge deal. So the way I look at risk management when it comes to trading is you can set a stop loss. You can set a price to where if it reaches that price and it drops down below a certain price that you're not comfortable with, you can get out of that trade. You can either set an alert, or you can set a stop loss to sell you out, to say, hey, I don't want it to hit the bottom. I want to get out at this lower price. When it comes to investing, one of the risk management tools that I like to use is by diversifying my portfolio, meaning that if you purchase equities or securities that fall into different categories, different indexes, different sectors of the market, then you don't have all of your money tied into one area. If that sector or index goes down, then you have other areas in your portfolio that will be up. And so you kind of mitigate your loss by balancing things out. The third way that I like to look at risk management when it comes to investing or trading is to educate myself as much as possible. I don't pretend to know everything, but as I go along, I'm learning more and more. And the more I learn and the more I know, I can make better decisions. There are a lot of decisions I made back when I first started investing. I didn't know what I was doing, and I chose what I knew how to do at that moment. And now that I'm learning more, I can make better choices when it comes to what funds I'm invested in, whether or not I want to invest in those type of funds. I'm learning so much more. And so education is definitely a huge part of risk management. And we can say the same thing about our plants. There are certain things that can, interrupt your plant's growth cycle. Things like pests. I manage my risk of losing my plant by doing things like rinsing off my leaves every once in a while, right? Taking this thing and putting it in the shower and rinsing it off really well. I use bug spray, whether it's a DIY homemade bug spray or one that I get from the store. Another way that I use risk management when it comes to my plants is by pruning. Now, we typically think of that when we think of gardens or plants that have flowers. And this is a plant, this is a HOYA, this is a plant that does produce flowers. But the way I prune this, pruning and propagation, I'm sort of using those two terms the same way. This plant was going through some drama. She, for whatever reason, had decided that she wanted to start getting soft, which is not typical of a HOYA. And so she had a lot of peduncles, a lot of places where she was flowering. And I really think that the plant has sort of exhausted its root system. I don't know. I really don't know. But what I knew was that if I propagated this plant, I could save this plant. So that to me was me managing my risk instead of hoping, because hope is not a strategy, not with plants or with the stock market. But my thought was if I could cut my plant and propagate it, then I would definitely have some plant left. And what I took that was left in the pot and I tried to get those roots to grow, it didn't work out. But now I have an even larger plant because I managed my risk. I took this plant, I propagated it, and now I have a bigger plant. So risk management in both investing in the stock market or trading and plants are a huge deal, because that helps you to keep more of the thing that you want, whether it's money, that green, or this green. So typically here we talk all things green plants, and if you love that kind of content, you would absolutely love our community. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notification bell. And if you're enjoying this content, go ahead on and give this video a like. If you're a Black woman and you want to learn more about the stock market, I have another beautiful community that I would love to introduce you to. Her name is Sondra. She has a channel here on YouTube called From Lack to Legacy. And Sondra is empowering 1,000 Black women to help get started into investing into the stock market. So I want to leave a link to her channel down below. Also, check the description box. There will be a link there in case you don't have a brokerage already and you want access to some free brokerages along with some learning tools, some resources, so that you can go and research this stuff yourself. You don't want to just blindly believe someone off the internet. You can go and find out all of this information on your own. A lot of the information out there is free. It's free for you to research. It's free for you to make sense of it. So in the description, there will be a link for 9 free online brokerages. Some of them, I would say about 3 or 4 of them, have simulators so you can actually learn to trade without actually risking any money, which is another part of risk management, right? All right, let's get back into it. Okay, so number 3, the third reason or the third similarity that I've seen between caring for my plants and learning how to invest on the stock market is continuous learning and adaptation. Now, you already know I am learning on so many plants, like so many plants. Let me just bring one to you. I have had a time with my Dieffenbachias. This is the Dieffenbachia camouflage. I don't know why I forgot her name. I really didn't, but I did. This is my Dieffenbachia camouflage. And what I've come to realize is that there were certain Dieffenbachias that I did really well with. And then as I delved, is that a word? As I ventured out into trying new Dieffenbachias, I was running into some issues. So this one is doing pretty good in my care right now. She has a dead leaf, but it's a bottom leaf, so that's fine. As you are caring for your plants, you learn to adapt, not just your care for them, but sometimes even your environment. So yeah, there is a constant learning that I have to do. One is I have to learn how to learn how I really want to care for my plants. There are a lot of times when you get a plant and you think in your head, oh, I'm going to want to water that every other day. And then you start living real life and you realize you don't. So number 1, learning what kind of plant parent you are, but not only that, learning what the plant actually needs. So I'm learning. I'm loving the way this one is growing. She's doing really well. Even when I'm looking up under her, she's doing really well. I'm super proud of her. She is growing really good. And even her little baby down here is growing up pretty good. So she's an example of me adapting. She is a perfect example of me adapting. When it comes to my stocks and investments, definitely continuous learning, right? Like I said, I've been involved in the stock market for quite some time. I've had a 401, but I will be honest, you kind of just close your eyes and cross your fingers and hope that everything works out well. Well, I will say over the last maybe 2 or 3 years, I have taken a real interest in getting to learn more and more about the stock market, and which is why this year I also added in trading into that knowledge as well. So that continuous learning, one thing you will learn about me is that I am a learner. I love to learn new things. I take on a lot of different projects so I can learn new things, new skills, new crafts, new whatever. I love to learn. And so taking on trading and investing this last year has been phenomenal. I have learned so much. And look, let me tell you, everybody has their own money story. And so tackling that money story and getting past the hangups is really difficult. The investing is really simple. It's simple. You put money in, you don't take it out until later when it's gone up, right? If it's not going up, you switch it out and you try something different. So the act of investing is very simple, but there's a lot more emotions and stuff that are involved to investing and trading than just put money in, take money out. And so learning that money story has been very interesting. Just like taking care of my plants. This year alone, I have decided there are some plants that I just won't have in my collection. Not because I don't think they are beautiful, not because I'm not capable of taking care of them, but because I realize that the way my life's, I don't want to spend that time doing that thing. I don't want to be held my feet to the fire to do things a certain way. And so because I want to do things a different way, I know I have to eliminate some of those plants from out of my collection. And so until my life changes, I'm just going to eliminate those plants because it's a lot easier for me to walk into my space and see a lot of beautiful life versus seeing death, right? So let's reiterate. There are three things that I found where my two passions intersect. My passions of caring for my house plants and my new passion for learning how to invest and trade in the stock market. One is patience, two is risk management, and three is continuous learning and education. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today. Like I said, if you want to join that movement to learn about the stock market, to join a community of other Black women who are creating this space where we can learn together. No one proclaims to be an expert, and so we learn together. We bring what we've learned to the table and we all share with each other. Okay, it's a communal learning experience and it is a beautiful community. I promise you, I promise you it's a beautiful community. So if you're a Black woman and you're interested in that community, then don't forget to check out Sondra's channel. In the description, there will be a link to her channel. There will also be a link to some free online brokerages in case you are interested in going to do some research on your own, whether in tandem with us or on your own. I'm a DIYer, so I totally understand that. And I like to come prepared. Even if I am going to join a community of learners, I like to come prepared. So in that description, don't forget to check out the link to those online brokerages. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything, but hit that link and you can get that information document sent to your PDF. Okay, you guys, that's what I got for today. So if no one else has said it to you today, have a great day. Bye. Happy Saturday. Today, I want to talk about the... If you know, you know. So yes, when it comes to our plants, risk management is a huge deal, right? Because there are certain in the link, Jesus,